They're my backer.
I see. And this craft, any idea where it came from?
No, they stole it.
Skunk Works?
The Majestic Boys got it because it.
Well, it was at Skunk Works.
It was at Skunk. It was built from the crash birds where they could touch and feel the stuff. You know,
this was a prototype based on earlier.
Yeah,
crash.
but it was a Model T version because the alien stuff was a little bit better.
I understand that, but just so we can get it straight, this was a prototype of earlier crash vehicles that were being kept at other Air Force bases, perhaps?
It was a prototype of a vehicle that was being kept at the time we saw it was being kept at S4 section of Area 51.
Mm-hmm. So you're to understand, not having seen it, you're there yourself.
We're pretty good on getting down to the inside of things.
I know you walked around there and said there's no base at Papoose.
No, I never did say that.
No?
I got pictures and cutaways of the interior of it. So one of these things, we didn't care where they were from or when they were from or how they were from or why they were from. Mm-hmm. And that was all irrelevant. How they got here was the big trick. So Chet Herbert, the racing cam guy who has a car right now he's about to put out a car with his son, goes 600 miles an hour using the wheels to drive it, not a jet car, driven by wheels. He was really into it. So when we would go out to the salt flats and we'd start talking about racing, it'd just automatically go into how does a UFO work? Because it was the epitome of go quick. You know, I mean, let's face it, those things they're a really remarkable machine from a standpoint of go quick.
You were trying to set another land speed record, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to build something and take a run through the traps at 5,000 miles an hour. That would be a real,
So your reach
really turn heads. Yeah.
Your reach exceeded your grasp at that point. When did you start to come across people who were actually tied into the UFO issue?
I studied aeronautical engineering when I was in college at Northrop Aeronautical Institute of Technology, so I was really into designing things that went fast and really fast. And so I just kept up the investigation. I became a pretty good investigator. Some people say I'm reasonably intelligent, and I just kept digging, and one day I got real lucky, and I ran across a guy who had actually seen the inside of Uncle's bird, and so we were able to get some engineering drawings of it. And
Uncle's bird?
Well, yeah, Uncle started a reverse engineering process on the crashes right after Roswell.
Who's Uncle?
Well, Uncle at that time was called the Committee of the Majority, and it had been formed by President Truman, and they euphemistically call themselves MJ-12 because of they set up a little cabal of 12 holy men, like Jesus and
disciples.
Yeah, and so we kept investigating. I mean, it was one of these things where you say, if I'm going to crack this puzzle, I'm going to have to do it in a thorough sort of way. So one of the ways was I acquired the world's largest library of UFO books, and I deductively reasoned that there were a huge amount of witness reports, and while some people will tell you that illegal evidence is, meaning like a UFO will stop an automobile, and when the UFO moves away, the engine automatically restarts without the starter engaging. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you that time stopped, and that engine was really in suspended animation, and that's what happens to people. Their biological processes stop from a standpoint of time is a flow of electrical energy. This is caused by an electric field, okay, that's pushing, it's hidden, and it pushes downward on mass, and it's hidden in time. The electrons that are causing this to go downward are repulsive electrons, and it'll do it on anything, but they're hidden. And they're hidden in what the universe is always dual. It's got time and no time, light and dark, on and off, right and wrong, true and false. So there's time and no time exists within a box of time. And Einstein just didn't get it all together, because if Einstein knew what he was talking about with general relativity, everybody would be flying UFOs, and we'd be powering these buildings with a motor generator out of that concept. But he was able to understand that inertia was equivalent to gravity, and he said it. But what he didn't say, which because he had dimensionalized it, which he said space, which is length, width, and height, is space, empty, nothing, and that there's time. And he made time into a dimension, which it really ain't. It's an electrical phenomenon that we, as sentient beings, experience. Animals don't experience it like we do, but they do in a sort of way, but they know when it's up and down. I mean, the lights are on and the sun's up, etc. So he just forgot that gravity exists and inertia exists in time. So time is also gravity. And if you can kill gravity, you can cause that to stop, you stop the clock.
Stop time as well.
You stop the clock, and you may well annihilate space as we understand it, as we currently understand it, meaning length, width, and height may go away, because what's in that length, width, and height is a hidden electrical field full of little particles who shove things down, but they exist in no time. So if you're going to kill gravity, you got to kill time. Time and gravity are concomitant.
This is.
Did I make myself clear?
Well, I was just going to say. This is, we're getting into some of the theory here. I just want to mention, at the end of this, we're going to allow plenty of time for questions. So you all can participate, write some questions down if they're coming to you as we're talking, because we're going to have this microphone open, and we'll have plenty of time for you to ask questions on things that we cover. Now, I'm saying questions, not comments. Questions only, please. Well, let's go back to this uncle. You said this whole thing started by this uncle. Who are we talking about?
Well, Uncle is Uncle Sam, but Uncle created Majestic, and then it got out of control because the boys recognized that if you have anti-gravity, then you can theoretically eliminate, anti-gravity eliminates the laws of general relativity, all right? Now,
no, when you